Hello, hello, hello. I am your hostess with the mostest on the ball, Terence Crystal, and welcome back to the Triple Threat Podcast, where we break down and review everything in the arts. Welcome back, everybody. I have been gone for quite a bit. How's y'all summers doing? Y'all good? Good, good, good. I've been hearing things, but y'all good. No, I'm joking. Yeah, this is my first episode back after the summer. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think life just kind of got a bit busy. Yeah, so I remember, I think my last episode, I can't remember exactly when. I think it was back in May or June. And I recorded an episode, and then I think everything just happened all at once. I yeah, and this summer for me personally has been like I would say 75% has been very positive. No, I revoke that. I revoke it. I would say my summer was 85% very good. Like, I went on great trips. I had fun with my friends. I was able to work and relax, and I was able to do such fun project and go see a lot of amazing shit that I'm going to talk to you guys now about. And yeah, I think I just and obviously I have ADHD. I have the ADHD. So sometimes things can get away from me and we go for a long period where nothing of that certain thing that I'm doing happens, and then all of a sudden I'm just nothing but focused on it. So I'm coming back now. Sometimes with a guest, sometimes it's just gonna be me. It's just gonna be me that you're listening to. You're just gonna listen to my little old voice here. And yeah, I'm gonna try to be consistent. Gonna try and do at least one episode a week. I'm really gonna really focus because I was focused at the beginning. And but honestly, I've said this before. The hardest thing, and I was dead set on this because I wanted my friends to be a part of this because they are a part of me. So I really wanted every episode to have a guest. But then I quickly realized that that is extremely hard to do unless you plan well in advance, because we each live our own lives and we all have our own stuff going on. And sometimes people just literally can't meet up with you for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So sometimes it's just going to be me all the time. Sometimes it's going to be a guest. I'm going to be having guests back on to discuss new things and update you. And yeah, my summer, I loved summer of 2023 was a really good summer. Yeah. Overall, it was really good. There were a few downers, not gonna lie, a few down points where I was just a bit like, "Wah!" But that's life. I mean, I loved this summer. I went to America for about 10 days where I just fully switched off. And that was a weird period because, right, like, I think a week or 2 weeks before that, something had happened that impacted me negatively. And then all of a sudden, a week after that, something really positive happened. Then I was in America. So it was kind of this like weird fluctuation of downs and ups. And it was just fucking exhausting. It's up and down, and I'm still tired. I'm still tired, bitch. I mean, maybe that's the constant. I was just always fucking tired. And which I'm trying to I have a melatonin to help me sleep, so hopefully that works. But yeah, so I know I've been gone for a while, and I'm gonna be coming back. I'm gonna really, really commit to this. I'm gonna really constantly be trying to put out content that you all crave. I know you all crave it, all 6 of you. All 6 of you. I see the numbers on Buzzsprout. I see y'all you use actual Amazon podcast. Who the fuck is using Amazon podcast? In fairness, that would be kind of a cool thing. Amazon podcast. Yeah, it just comes up as a little thing when you're on Buzzsprout when you're creating your podcast. The process of it is that you have to have like a secondary like website thing to put out your thing, and Amazon podcast pops up, which is weird. But anyway, it's me for today. You're gonna have all of me. So it might be a bit of a shorter episode because I won't be able to banter. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I am going to be able to banter. Banter here, banter there. Banta. Ba'a. No, I was going to make a joke. But, banta, innit? It banta. Oh, yeah, it's fucking banta, innit? God. Even though, why am I laughing at that? Ever since I've moved to London, I find, because I'm a bit of a parrot geek when it comes to like accents. Like when I'm with American people, I'll put on my American accent. When I'm with Irish people, I put on my Irish accent. And then honestly, since moving here to London back in 2020, yeah, it's my like I think a week and a half ago, it was like my 3-year anniversary here. Woo, 3 years. Whenever I'm with English people, I kind of change my accent a bit to like fit in because I'm a people pleaser and I want to please people. Are you mad at me? Should I copy your accent? But anyway, I watched and read and saw so much over the summer. And I think to kick off, we are going to talk about probably the event of the summer, or more likely the year, which was, of course, we are going to talk about the Barbenheimer. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about a tiny bit more just because Barbenheimer is 2 films. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to spoil everything. We're going to spoil everything, and I might change that format because, I don't know, I feel like, obviously, sometimes it's nice to, like, have something that you don't fully spoil, but like, I don't know, maybe sometimes you can just talk fully shit about it and just spoil the shit out of it. But yeah, we're going to talk about 4 different things. We're going to talk about Barbenheimer. We're going to talk about Olivia Rodrigo, Guts, the album. And we're going to talk about this new book I just finished actually yesterday called Boyfriend Material. We're going to talk about those 3 things, well, 4 things technically. And we're going to start off with Barbenheimer. Now, Barbenheimer. Now, if you don't know what Barbenheimer is, this year, 2 movies, Barbie by Greta Gerwig of Little Women, Lady Bird, and Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan, who did the Dark Knight trilogy, who did Inception, all that jazz. Those 2 films this year came out on the same day, July 21st. Now, last year, when it was announced that those 2 movies would be coming out on the same day, just the ironicness, that's a word. I'm going to say that. Yes, that is a word. Yes. Why are you fighting me? Why are you arguing with me? I don't want to I don't want to argue because you're wrong. Yeah, see, you're wrong. Because ironicness is a word. Because I said it. Okay. But they both came out on the same day. And the internet got a hold of that information. And went wild because the 2 different styles, Barbie... I feel like such a millennial explaining this. But I'll just explain it for people who don't know. I mean, I think most people know. But anyway, Barbie is this, like, pink, pastel, comedy. Well, it's branded as a comedy. We'll get into the actual film itself. With this female-led cast. And it's Greta Gerwig, who traditionally does women's stories like Little Women, Lady Birds, Frances Ha. I almost forgot about that film. And then Christopher Nolan, who does the Dark Knight trilogy, you know, Batman. And, you know, I love Christopher Nolan, but let's face the fact, he doesn't know how to write a woman character. Well, so hopefully he'll learn. But, and famously, a lot of his films, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, a lot of his films are mostly male dominated. I'm trying to think of a woman. I'm trying to think of a woman. Miss, for a dollar, can you name a woman? Miss, for a dollar, can you name a woman? No. Sorry, that's so stupid. I've been compared to Billy Eichner so many times just because I'm loud. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the first character that comes to mind. What is Rachel? Yes, Rachel from The Dark Knight and from Batman Begins. That's the first. And maybe Marion Cotillard from Inception, but she kind of dies. Like she kind of kills herself at the end to like because she wants to be. I don't know. I can't remember Inception. I hated Inception. Well, no, I didn't hate Inception. I liked Inception, but I would only watch it once, and I didn't really get the hype at the time. Rewatching it, it did kind of lay the foundation for a lot of like cool action films that would come later down the line. Oh, and he did Dunkirk. Oh, Dunkirk, there was no. Was there any women in Dunkirk? No, there was no women in. I can't remember, but yeah, I don't think there was any. Anyhow, where was I? Sorry, going on a tangent. No, so these two movies released on the same day, same year, and I think it's important to say that like prior to this, before we like had a couple of like really big hits in the box office, like Doctor Strange 2 was a huge hit, Spider-Man 3, like movies were back after COVID. People were going to the cinema and people were doing these huge blockbuster things, but it was just for like the classic superhero movies and all that jazz. Like, and then Top Gun was also something that nobody saw coming as to be like a huge box office hero. Like, cinema was slowly starting to come back after 2020 absolutely shat on it. So people were hungry. People were hungry for something to go towards. And so the internet took Barbie and Oppenheimer and were just like, that's so funny that these two opposite films are coming out on the same day. That's like, that's so funny. That is so funny. And so the internet got hold and created a shit ton of memes. They really like, it was, this whole idea of Barbieheimer was curated by internet culture. And I saw the memes, I laughed, they were very funny. I think I shared a few, and some people, like brilliant artists, made posters fusing the two styles together. And like, it was just very funny. And then it actually comes and it happens, and I did it. I fully did the double show day. The internet culture turned it into that. It made a conversation of just like, what are you going to see first, Barbie or Oppenheimer, when it comes out? And which I have the right answer, the only answer. It's Oppenheimer first and then Barbie. But I would advise, if anyone's doing that anytime soon, give yourself a good few hours after Oppenheimer to see Barbie. Because I remember I saw, on the 21st of July, I saw Oppenheimer at 11 a.m. with my good friends Max, Tom, and Veronica. And that movie is 3 hours long. Fully 3 hours. And then Barbie was sold out in all the other times except for one time, which was like, I think a 5 p.m. showing, maybe 4:30. So we finished fucking Oppenheimer and only had like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get like food and to like kind of let Oppenheimer sink in. And then we had to go to Barbie. Give yourself at least 5 hours before seeing Barbie, because Oppenheimer was depressing as shit. Still very good, but depressing. So I did it, and it was just so fun seeing everyone in their costumes. Like, fully, there was a guy in like a full 3-piece gray suit and the hat based off of Oppenheimer's character. And then in Barbie, there were people dressed up in pink, and it was just so great to see. And I loved it, and it was so much fun, and I'm so glad I did the double show day. Because, I don't know, it felt like a moment in history. And it completely blew open the box office. It like Barbie is now $1 billion movie. Oppenheimer, I think, almost made $1 billion. It was like I think 50 million short or 40 million short compared to a 3 hour Christopher Nolan film biography about the creation of the first nuclear bomb. That's like incredible that it made that amount of money. So yeah, and they both opened with over 100 million. Did Oppenheimer open? I can't remember. But let's start off. So that's Barbenheimer in a nutshell. That's Barbenheimer. Let's start off with the one I saw first, Oppenheimer. Now, Oppenheimer is the telling of the Manhattan Project, which is the creation of the first atomic bomb. So, yes, it's written and directed by Christopher Nolan and stars Cillian Murphy. It's the Manhattan Project, and it's about J. Robert Oppenheimer. Jeez, that's a tongue twister. He's credited as the father of the atomic bomb, and it goes through his creation of it and the aftermath of its creation. Now, 3 hours. I'll just say this out in the open. 3 hours. It did not feel like 3 hours. I will say, though, and this is maybe my criticism of it, there was one point in the film where I remember it was towards the end, and I'm spoiling this. Well, I don't know. This is history. So it's kind of already been spoiled. And there was a bit in about the third act of the film that, and I remember they were like, it was the reveal that Robert Downey Jr.'s character had basically set up Oppenheimer to fail and was trying to get the hydrogen bomb created and was trying to throw Oppenheimer under the bus. Basically, when that was revealed to everyone that Robert Downey Jr.'s character did this, they repeated it like 3 times, I remember, or like twice, the same info. And it was just a bit like, okay, we know. Why are you saying this all again? And I remember, I think it was Rami Malek, actually, who was relaying the same information again. And I remember sitting there and I was just like, okay, we get this. Can we move on? We know it's happened. Why do we have Rami Malek telling us what we already know? Yeah, I just remember that being just like, come on. And then, obviously, I really liked it. And then a couple of my other friends saw it, and they said, and like I said before, Christopher Nolan still doesn't know how to write a female character. Because although Emily Blunt did a fantastic fucking job as Oppenheimer's wife, that's so bad, I don't even know the fucking character's name. Catherine Oppenheimer. Emily Blunt, she deserves an Oscar nomination, but it's really funny. You can, whenever you watch a film that you know is going to be nominated for an Oscar, or you think that should, for me anyway, and I know the Oscars do this too, and maybe I'm biased because the Oscars influenced me to look out for these moments, but in a film that you know someone's going to get nominated for an Oscar, there's one 30-second or a minute scene where you see them do something where you go, that's it. That is the clip they're going to play at the Academy Awards when they are nominated and showing her nomination. And it's a clip at the end where she's being interviewed. She's being pretty much hounded by the person trying to investigate Oppenheimer's security clearance. And she's an alcoholic. She hates her children. She didn't want to be a mother. She's kind of gone down this path of self-destructiveness. But then at that moment, she just snaps and is just like, I'm fully supporting my husband. And you're not going to get him. In fairness, she supports him throughout. And actually, she rightly so is like to Oppenheimer, why are you trusting these bullshit people? You are such a fool. What are you doing? You need to, like, stand up for yourself. You can't let these people walk over you. Literally, for the full 3 hours, she's just like, stop being a little bitch, Oppenheimer. Just stop being a bitch and actually stand up for yourself. And so in the clip at the end where she stands up for him for the final time is going to be her Oscar clip because it's just so good. But yes, but apart from that moment, her character is kind of like just in the background. And Florence Pugh, although I did like her character, it just felt so just like she was used to push Oppenheimer's character and wasn't a character herself. Now, don't get me wrong. The scenes that Florence Pugh were in were brilliant, and I loved it. But, and I really liked, I remember, I keep saying this, my favorite thing about it was how they used nudity and sex scenes in this film. Like, there's one bit where Oppenheimer is being interviewed, and Emily Blunt, his wife, is right behind him, sitting down watching the trial. And he talks about his affair with Florence Pugh's character. And during that, it cuts to Emily Blunt watching Oppenheimer, and you see Florence Pugh fully naked on top of him, kissing and staring at Emily Blunt, which is exactly what Emily Blunt feels, him relaying this information. He feels like that she's just like caressing him and all that stuff, and she's just watching, which I really liked. Because I remember there were some articles just being like, oh, this is the most grotesque use of nudity in any Christopher Nolan film. And I was just like, okay, what? First of all, why the fuck is there nudity in a 3-hour biopic about the father of the atomic bomb? That's weird. That's weird. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, hello. What's that stupid TikTok sound? It's me looking at Cillian Murphy sitting naked in a chair. And then they send me this photo and I take it to my penthouse and I freak it. Oh, fuck me. I love Brittany Broski. I love Brittany Broski. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Oppenheimer. Yeah, so the movie, 3 hours long. Yeah, those were my criticisms. I'll tell you what I liked. Direction, class. A class. Script, really fucking good. Acting, phenomenal. I genuinely think Cillian Murphy deserves the Oscar for Best Leading Actor because he carried this film. 3 hours, he did not let me down at any point. He absolutely deserves the Oscar. And Christopher Nolan deserves the Oscar for directing if Greta Gerwig doesn't win it. Well, I don't know. It's between them two. But it was fantastically made. The visual effects were incredible. The sound, the drama of it, even though it was 3 hours long and it was a real like drama, it didn't feel boring at any point. It was like really on your edge. It was interesting. And yeah, what was I about to say? That's what I really liked about it. And then yeah, so out of 10, I would give this film. Oh, my experience watching it. My experience watching this, and I've said this to many people who have talked about Oppenheimer before. Oppenheimer is a film that I will watch probably once. Now, I'm not saying like that once and I'm done, never again, but I'll watch it once, and then maybe when they announce the Oscar nominations of Best Picture, I'll watch it again just to refresh my memory. But it's not a film that I'm like, oh, let's put it on and watch it again. No, I don't think I could watch Oppenheimer again. Because I feel like with Oppenheimer is the type of film, and these films are legit and they're very good for a reason, where you watch Oppenheimer, you have to sit down and you have to be fully engaged to enjoy the film. You can't just casually watch it. It's a film you have to like be fully invested in. Like phone off in a cinema watching it. So yeah. That's my take on Oppenheimer. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 9 just because, and I'm dinging at a point. Excuse me. Sorry, just burped. Just because just because of the female characters weren't fully utilized and fully realized. The lag of the tiny bit of lag of the third act, and the rewatchability of it. Yeah. And then, yeah, 9 out of 10, which is still, it was still fucking good. And to be honest, it might win Best Picture at the Oscars, which, I don't know, it'll be a bit cliche, but you can't say it doesn't deserve it. I think there should be another film that wins Best Picture. I feel like the Oscars, sorry, I don't know why I'm divulging into the Oscars. I love the Oscars. I think I mentioned this in my first episode, my very first episode. I can't believe it's October. Oh my God, I can't believe it's October. My first episode was back in March. What the fuck? That's crazy. But, little fun fact about me. I love the Oscars. I love the Oscars. I love the show of it. I love the awards. I love betting. I love seeing what did get nominated, what didn't get nominated, who's gonna win, and what should be nominated, and just the whole politics of it. And I love the glamour of the red carpet. It's like the number one night of Hollywood, and I've been following the Oscars since 2009. 2009. I've been following it for 2009. 20, 21, 22, 23. I've been following it for 14 years. 14 years? 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 15? No. 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Wait, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22. Oh my God, 15 years. Well, 15 Oscar ceremonies. Yes. That's stupid, crazy. But yes, I've been following them since 2009, and I love them. I love the Oscars, and where was I going with this? Yes, I love the Oscars, and I feel like last year, and I feel like the 2020s just in general, have been very good at, the Best Picture films, doing off-kilter weird shit. 2020 was Nomadland, a fucking 2-hour pick of Frances McDormand becoming a nomad, directed by a woman. And I saw that film recently. Very good. It deserved Best Picture. And then 2021 was fucking... no, it's 14 years. 14 years. 2021 was Coda, a family drama / kind of not comedy. Family drama about a deaf family and a deaf daughter trying to get into a singing college. What? That winning Best Picture? In fairness, I don't agree with that. I think West Side Story should have won Best Picture, but c'est la vie. But still, Coda was a very good movie. And then obviously 2022 with Everything Everywhere All at Once winning Best Picture, a fucking action comedy drama about multiversal travel with an all Asian lead cast. Amazing. Immaculate. It won Best Picture. So with Oppenheimer winning Best Picture, I don't know, I feel like we're going back to maybe the 2000s, where they would just give it to the most pristine shit. But I don't know, hopefully I'll be wrong. But anyway, Oppenheimer, 9 out of 10, love it. Now Barbie, where do I start with Barbie? I remember seeing the first trailer and going into and being like, okay, so this is a comedy. This is a comedy film, but it's Greta Gerwig, and Greta Gerwig knows how to write. She loves writing. And her directing is impeccable. Little Women was an incredible adaptation. I love Little Women. I loved Little Women. I remember I was bawling my eyes out when I first saw it in the cinemas. And Lady Bird, ooh, Lady Bird, ooh, 2017. Oh, do you guys remember how good movies were in 2017? 2017 was Lady Bird, Call Me by Your Name, The Shape of Water. Oh my God, it was a fucking fantastic year. Get Out, The Phantom Thread. Oh my God, 2017 was an amazing year for films. But Lady Bird was so good, and I loved Lady Bird. And Greta Gerwig, I fucking love Greta Gerwig. She's so goddamn good. Barbie, like Barbie. First off, Barbie was fucking hysterical. I was laughing out loud at some of the jokes, like when she's sitting outside of the school in the real world, and she's just been called a fascist, and she's crying. She goes, "I'm not a fascist. I don't control the railways or control the income." I laughed so hard at that joke. I laughed so loud. And Ryan Gosling as Ken, I thought was so funny. I think he's going to get the Oscar. I think he's going to get the Oscar for playing Ken in a Barbie movie. I hope he does because he's brilliant. But Barbie was such a good film. It was a drama. It was a comedy, but it still had its moments where it was grounded. It was grounded. It was real. You could tell someone cooked here. You could like obviously I come from the perspective I am a man. I identify as a man. And I am a gay man, so I don't know the trials and errors of being a woman. So it was fantastic like seeing this portrayed on screen, and sometimes even there were some moments where like the bit where they're all at the campfire and they're singing with the Kens, and the Kens are looking at them, staring at them playing at the guitar. And I was just like, do men actually do that? Just like unpromptedly sing a song and just won't stop staring at the woman, and the woman's just sitting there awkwardly, just like, okay. And all the women were just like, yes, yes. And I also love how Barbie kind of exposed a lot of misogynists out there, because like now obviously you can have your criticisms of the movie, and there are a lot of fair criticisms of it, but a lot of the criticisms that I've seen are based in misogyny. So it was interesting to kind of see who had to say what. But Barbie was very funny. It was very poignant. It was very moving. And even just like, because what Greta Gerwig does really well is that she doesn't make things black or white, in the sense of the story and your choices. It's not black and white. It's more like, and she doesn't say like, oh, one thing is bad than the other. Like, for example, the mother character fully wants to be a mother and just like a mom and someone to support her daughter and do that. And obviously Barbie growing up is like, to you, you could be so much more than that. A woman is not just a mother and a child. A woman can be this, 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 this. And while yes, that is true, but if you want to just be a mom and live your normal life, that's okay. You don't have to like do exciting shit. You just have to live. You can live and just be happy and not do anything else. But then obviously that's the expectation our society puts on women, because if you decide you want to be just a mom and just a stay-at-home mom and just do that, then society is just like, you're the reason why women can't vote. But then if you're like do you know what I mean? And I think it shed a really good light on that. And I remember there's an ending. Barbie's really interesting. It's comedy. It's comedy to the gold. It's so funny. A really well written script. But then the ending, when Barbie is like, she goes through this like transformation of discovering who she is and what she wants to do and what she wants to do with her life. and the expectations and the pressure of it all, and how she just like, I can't be basic Barbie, but that's all I know. I don't know anything else. And at the end, the original creator of Barbie, who's played by the wonderful actress from Matilda, fun fact. I'm just gonna look it up now because I don't want to forget her name. Also, Helen Mirren stopping the film to go because Barbie went, "I'm ugly," and then Helen Mirren just goes, "Note to filmmakers: this to execute this joke, it's not useful to have Margot Robbie play Barbie." Hysterical, amazing. So yes, at the end, Barbie goes through the whole thing and tries to like discover Rhea Perlman, who played Matilda's mom in the original Matilda film. She grabs her hand and she just goes, "Now close your eyes. Now feel." And then we get a montage of just women living life. And the women who have impacted us, like our mothers, our aunts, everything, just living their life and just being human. And now, I don't know about you, but I cried. I was like, I'm crying so much. I love my mother. I love all the women in my life. I love the people in my life. But it's those it's like, oh my God, a Barbie movie made me like feel and like be existential about life. Like, that's crazy. And yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's just that moment in particular was just amazing. And the way they end the film is so goddamn funny. The way it's just like Barbie going up for a big, what is it? It's a job interview. No, it's a meeting with a CEO. No, it's to buy a new house. No, she's going into this building to see her gynecologist. And it ends. Amazing. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Barbie genuinely gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Because acting, incredible. The pacing was great. The actors were good. No, I already said that. Acting, incredible. The script, immaculate. The production design and the costumes, hello. Yes. Incredible. I know everyone's going to be a Barbie this Halloween. And the music was amazing. Like, the music is so good. Like, Billie Eilish's "When Did It End? Although enjoyment. I'm sad again to tell my boyfriend." Ugh. And my experience of it was, it made me feel good to be alive. Like, it made me want to live life. Just to live it. Because all these expectations on women and, you know, just like most people in general, and even on men, they kind of did a really good example of showing the toxic masculinity in men and how the patriarchy is toxic. It really just wants you to live. It wants you to live and just enjoy life. Stop focusing on fucking stupid shit. Yeah, 10 out of 10. My experience was euphoria. I loved it. I loved it so much. Greta, you got another hit. You got another hit in your hand. And you know what? I'm so excited to see Greta Gerwig's adaptation of the Narnia books on Netflix. Let's go. Alrighty. That is Barbie and Oppenheimer. Two films came out on the same day, hugely successful, and both incredible films, because people were so worried that either or both were going to be shit. But having two films by acclaimed directors of mainstream standards both be hits with both critics and audiences, immaculate. Someone cooked here. I loved it. And now on to this wasn't really released in the summer, but as you know, the beginning of September was so fucking hot. It was so goddamn hot that it basically felt like summer. So we have the next thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Olivia Rodrigo's Guts. Now, Olivia Rodrigo is now she's either 19 or 20. Let me just look that up. Olivia Rodrigo. Yes, Olivia Rodrigo. No. Yes. She was born in 2003. 2003. What the fuck? Oh, interesting. Yes. So Olivia Rodrigo is a 20-year-old singer / actress. That's how she started anyway. And as you know, she had her hit song Driver's License released back in 2021, which was a huge, huge hit. It won Grammys. It put her on the map. And then her first album, Sour, was one of the most critically acclaimed albums of the year. It's one of the most streamed albums of this decade. She is slowly becoming one of the most popular artists of our generation. She's incredibly talented. Sour is one of my favorite albums. There's no skips. I truly love it. Driver's License, Happier, and Traitor are like all my favorite songs, and I listen to her all the time. And Guts is the sophomore album that was released this year. The sophomore album. Now, when it comes to particularly female artists, mostly all of artists, but I feel like what I've seen, it's particularly a female artist thing, is that there is something called the second album like slump, because you release your full album, it's successful, it puts you on the map, you're everywhere. You know what? Actually, I revoke that. It's not just a female thing. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because I just listen to female artists, so I just listen to. I could show you my phone and show you my most listened to. Every single song is by a woman. Every single song is sang by a woman in my like most listened to. Every single one. But with most artists, they have a fear of a second album slump, which is that you have the highs and highs of the first album. Then the second album comes out, and if it's not the same or if not better than the first album, it's immediately deemed as a flop, failure, flop Tina, you're in your flop era, you are bullshit, this is horrible, you don't deserve any of this. And it's happened with a couple of artists. I think it's happened with it strangely enough happened with Lady Gaga, but not until her third album. Then with Katy Perry, it was the same with the third album. But maybe I don't know. There's a fear that it was a one-off thing with the first album and that you'll be a failure in the second album. But this album, Guts, is honestly spectacular. It leans more to the rockiness. So if you recall the songs in Sour, like Good For You and Brutal, and what other songs were kind of rocky in... I'm trying to think. There was only really the two. I think, yeah, just really those two. Maybe a bit of Traitor. So it more leaned into that, into like the kind of like rock, pop punk rock of like the 2000s, like obviously influences like Avril Lavigne and etc. really influenced her. But this is her more like rock side, her more, I wouldn't want to say edgy, but I don't know, for lack of a better term, more edgy. She released Vampire, which was the first single, and loved it. Vampire is such a good song. Like, blood sucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was like, oh my god, this is so intense, and the music video is amazing. And then she released Guts, and it's 12 songs. And what I like about Olivia Rodrigo is that it's like, because obviously I love a collaboration. I love when two people get together, but this is just Olivia Rodrigo. She's like, it's just her. Obviously, she has a team of people, but all the songs, it's just her voice. I just love that. I don't know. I love that it's just Olivia Rodrigo. She has a spectacular voice. And this album really like gets into those like gray areas of like relationships and breakups. Like I remember Sour covered it. Well, it did cover it. Like Happier is a perfect example, because Happier is when you've broken up with someone, you've moved on, but you see that the guy you were with is with someone new. And obviously in this song, in this established relationship in this song, they kind of tried to keep contact, and it's like, I'm happy for you, but don't be happier than how you were with me, because that'll kill me. So it's like those little gray, selfish areas where you're like, I'm happy for him, and like I'm happy that he's happy and he's found someone new, but can you not be happier, because it's killing me that you are happier with her than with me. And I feel like this album really divulges into that. Like, there's a song at the end of Guts called Teenage Dream, where she really talks about how she's done all these incredible milestones in her first album, and now she's here and she's just like, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. Like, they all say it gets better when you're grown, but what if I'm not there yet? Yeah, and then it just, yeah. And then another one, Logical, which is my favorite fucking song on the album. Logical. I was on the bus into work when I was listening to the album, and I remember Logical started playing, and I had to control myself because I started sobbing. I was visibly crying, and Logical is about being with a person who, basically a gaslighter. Well, not a gaslighter. Gaslighter? Has you convinced of things that aren't real. Like the chorus is, you've got me thinking that 2 + 2 = 5, and I'm the love of your life. That rain don't pour and sun don't shine, and that changing you is possible. And it's kind of about how you go at a relationship and how you so desperately want to change them, and you know that they love you, and you know that this is possible, because this is how love is. This is love. This is what love should be. But then love is never logical. And she has a brilliant line at the end of it, which, because a lot of these breakup songs, it's kind of a lot of the person singing going at the guy. And fair. That's so fair. And most of the time, it is the man's fault because men are trash. But in this song, she has a brilliant line where she goes, logical, logical, love is never logical. I know I'm half responsible, and that makes me feel horrible. What? Are you serious? Are you for real? Did you just say that? Oh my God. How dare you? How dare you say that? I know I'm half responsible, and that makes me feel horrible. And then get this. Later down the song, she goes, logical, logical, love is never logical. I know I could have stopped it all. God, why didn't I stop it all? I can't. It's just those little like gray moments where you're like, because it's like, it takes two to tango in these relationships, and that, it's also your fault as well. So you're like, fuck, god damn it. Oh, Jesus Christ, Olivia, what are you doing to me? I can't believe this. But yeah. And then she has other songs. Well, I mean, speaking of, she has one song where she is just fully like, I'm singing about being a victim and all that stuff, but I'm the one who's making the bed. I'm the one who's making these choices. I'm the one who's going for these dipshit men, called Making the Bed. And it's about, yeah. And then she also has and it's also really fun as well. Like, I feel like it goes into the melancholia of relationship dramas and the complexities of relationships and the gray areas. But also, it's really fun. Like, she has songs like Ballad of a Homeschool Girl, which is just so funny. It's a really funny song. And then she also has Love is Embarrassing, which is one of my personal favorites, which is just like the whole idea of love is just fucking stupid. And then what's the other one? Oh yeah, each time that I step outside is social suicide. That is Ballad of a Homeschool Girl. Oh yeah, and Get Him Back, which is now like the new single. Get Him Back is a really fun song, but it's also like kind of a double thing because she's talking about how like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him back, I'm gonna make him pay, I'm gonna do this, but it's also like, I really want to get him back. Like, I want him here, I want to get him back, I want to make him lunch, but I also want to punch him, but also I want to have his heart. Like, I think whereas Sour was more, I feel like it was more going at the man and the kind of moral gray areas of relationships. And like, you had maybe like one fun song, like Good For You was a bit like of a fun, and maybe Brutal was a bit fun. Guts is more like her exploring like the fun of relationships. Well, not the fun of like breakups and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and Bad Idea, right? Like that whole song of like basically the gossip after the breakup and how you shouldn't be with him, but then you're just like, you get that 2 a.m. message like, hey, you up? And you're just like, yeah, I am. Hi. I shouldn't be talking. And your friends are just like, don't do it, no. It just, Olivia, you have me in a chokehold, and I will eat up everything that you put out there. So yeah, this album, like Sour, just made me feel, because there's a stupid fucking joke on the internet. So I'm 27. I'm 27 years old, turned 27 this summer. Olivia Rodrigo's audience tends to lean towards 20 to 13-year-olds. Yeah, it's true. And here's me, a 27-year-old, listening to a 20-year-old rock out about breakups. Like, same girl. No, we're not the same person. And so there's a joke online, and it's a photo of like, it'll be a photo of like a clearly visibly older person in a rock punk getup. And the tag is people in their 20s pretending to be a teenage girl at Olivia Rodrigo's concerts. And I'm just like, lower your fucking voice. I want to enjoy this without being slandered about my age. Like, yes, I know, I'm 27, and she's 20, and a majority of her audience is fucking 18-year-olds. Let me enjoy shit. But I know that there are members of the fandom who are in my age bracket. The 25 to 30-year-olds. 25 to 30-year-olds, let me see your hands. Thank you. But it makes me laugh as well because it's true. But Olivia Rodrigo, you have me feel, because Olivia Rodrigo's music makes you feel young, because she is a 20. When she wrote Sour, she was 18. And now she's 20. And now her music has matured with her. So, like, obviously, when you listen to her music, you're going to feel young. And I feel young as shit when I listen to her music. So, Olivia Rodrigo, Guts, I loved it. It's a 10 out of 10 album. 10 out of fucking 10. My experience is youth, rock, and, like, just the more, like, just revising the breakups of my own self by listening to Olivia Rodrigo's new albums. Like, those are the things I experienced. Yeah. Oh, I love Olivia Rodrigo. I'm seeing her. So, quick side note, because I know we're long and I know I have to talk about a book. And I appreciate you guys listening. Hi, guys. You still here? Woo! But I booked Olivia Rodrigo like back in 2021 for 2022. And really, really good tickets. It was £40 for a ticket, which, you know, is okay because she was very popular. So I knew they weren't going to be under 50. But sad fact, I had to miss it because I booked a job because I'm an actor. So I had to miss it, unfortunately. I went to book tickets again this year because I was just like, I am not missing it this year. 40 to 95. Holy shit. Like, I was shocked. And I know that's not a big jump, and you could find some valid reasons for it, but still, wow. How dare you, Olivia? How fucking dare you? Anyway, Olivia Rodrigo, Guts. Listen to it. It's a really good album. Everyone just listen to it. Go listen to it. And if you listen to this promo code, you'll... No, you won't. I can't actually joke about that because I don't have it. But Olivia Rodrigo, amazing. Now, next up and final on our list is a book that I've just finished. I have just finished this book. Now, my recommendation... No, wait. That doesn't make sense. This book is called Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. And to answer your question, no, it is not a to-do manual. Fuck you for even asking that fucking question. It is a book set in London about a 28-year-old son of a former rock star who needs to find a boyfriend, a fake boyfriend, in order to impress his work, and so work won't fire him. And it's basically enemies to lovers. And I love that shit. I love that shit so much. Enemies to lovers. Nom, 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 nom. I eat that shit up every time. Red, white, and royal blue. I ate that shit up. Love that fucking shit. And like Red, White, and Royal Blue, you'll never guess where I found this book or got it recommended from. Fucking TikTok. TikTok, you can fight all you want. TikTok is literally the new epicenter of all of pop culture. I am not even joking or hesitant when I say that. That is the new epicenter of pop culture. Your book recommendations, your movie recommendations, comedy, everything. Like, even like news, TikTok. TikTok, yes. Yes. TikTok, yes. Yes. I hope you know what I mean. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. But this book, I really liked it. I really liked it for the most part. 3/4 of the book, it was really good. It was that classic. Also, it's a gay book. It's gay. It's fully gay, and I love that gay shit. It's fully gay, and for like 3/4 of the book, they hate each other, but then there are slight instances where like he accidentally touched his leg, or like he goes, oh yeah, you know, I actually thought you were pretty when we first met, and then all this shit like, ooh, and then I'm just there just like, yes, more, how are they not touching? Oh my god, yes. Oh, but they hate each other, but then they also love each other because they also have similar struggles. Yes, I love. I love it. And I love the anticipation because I feel like sometimes some like for example, Red, White, and Royal Blue, they obviously they hated each other, but you can kind of tell there was something there. But then it was about I think one quarter into the book, maybe a little bit more, that they finally kiss and they finally embrace each other. This book, it's a bit more prolonged, but in a good way. Like they don't kiss until well into like the last quarter, or maybe the last like more or less more last half. But that's good because the way they build it up is very good because they're in this fake relationship for publicity. So there is a relationship there. And they talk about the relationship qualities that they should have to impress the media. So it's by, let me just read the synopsis because I actually have the book in front of me. So, no, I'm not going to read all of this. So it's about a person called Luke O'Donnell, who is being scrutinized because of a photo that's been pushed in the media. So to clean up his image, Luke has to find a nice, normal boyfriend. And then Oliver Blackwood is as nice and normal as they come. He is a barrister. And then apart from being gay, their worlds are completely different and they're completely not the same. But can they go their separate ways and pretend it never happened after building a relationship? And then it has a quote. But the thing about fake dating is that it can feel a lot like real dating. And that's when you get used to someone. Start falling for them. Don't ever want to let them go. And it's really interesting because the character of Luke O'Donnell is this very self-destructive, like at the start, he's very self-destructive, he's very self-hatred, he doesn't know his own self-worth, he's very like messy, and then through Oliver, he kind of learns to not clean his act, but to get his life back in order. And throughout the book, they're just like, but Oliver made you do this new boyfriend, this is why you can't have it fake anymore, you need it real because Oliver made you a better person. And towards the end, the mother is like to Luke's mother goes to Luke and it's just like, honey, that's partly true, but you're the one who made your life better. Oliver helped, but you could have done this by yourself. And it's like, wait, what'd you say? It's like it takes the trope of a good man coming into your life and making your life better, and instead of it being the focus, it's like, true, this man did help you and realize your worth, but that was already in you. You just had to find a way to get it out. And if you didn't find this man, it would have come out eventually. So it's not all on him. It's you. You're the one who made your life better. And I was reading this. I was just like, that is such a fucking fair point. Because in a lot of these books, like I said, this person has changed this person's life for the better. They make them a better person. They've made them do this. They make them like clean up. They make them like do this. They make them do stuff they would never do before because of this man and only this man. And it's like, no, this man had an effect on me and influenced it. But if he didn't come into my life, I probably would have done that. It would have just taken longer. And I like that they did that. I like that they said, no, it's not just the man. And it kept me on my toes because, I'm just spoiling this. I don't care. Because you think it goes down the classic trope of, obviously, they're fake dating, and then they get a bit closer, and then finally they kiss, then they're fake dating, and then they come to the conclusion that they want to be real boyfriends, and you're just like, woo! I saw that coming from a fucking mile off. But then all of a sudden, there's like a scene just after they have sex, and Oliver is just like to Luke, hi, no, this isn't for me. I screamed And I never let out such a big fucking scream. I was just like, what? What do you mean? You just agreed to be this man's real boyfriend, and now you're leaving? I was just like, hold on to fuck. What is going on here? He fully breaks up with him and leaves the house. And Luke is literally begging him. He's like, no, what the fuck do you mean? Like, we agreed on this. This is like, we're here for each other. And it goes and dwells in all of like, that Oliver has a fuck ton of like personal problems that I won't get into because it's too lengthy to discuss. But yeah, that flipped me on its head. And then, but there's a sequel to this. I don't know what the name of it is, but I know there is because I saw it in the bookstore. And the ending felt a bit rushed. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I like this book except the ending because this breakup happens and then he tries to get him back by doing a grand romantic gesture like they do in the movies and the other romantic novels, and that fucking fails, and they just end up having a massive argument in front of his house, which is a very good scene. But then, so what happens is that he goes over to Oliver's house, and he's like to Oliver, Luke is like to Oliver, listen, like, I don't love you because you're perfect. I love you because you're there. I love you because of your flaws. I love you because of this. I love you because of this. I don't love you because you're perfect and you're good for me. I love you because you're just a person who has flaws, and I can see those flaws, and you open up to me. And he points out, and he has a huge monologue about all of his flaws, which is kind of slay. And Oliver's just like, bitch, you just insulted me to my face. What the fuck you mean? We're done. Well, it's more dramatized and more eloquent than that. But then that doesn't work. So Luke just goes home and starts drinking. And then like fucking 7 hours later, he gets a knock at the door, and it's Oliver, and it's like 5 a.m. and Luke is a bit drunk, and he's just like, what do you want? And Oliver's just like, oh, I changed my mind. You're right. And I was just a bit like, what? Whoa, hold on. You made it such a clear point that you didn't want to be with this man, but all of a sudden you're swayed just like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking way into this, but it seemed like the conclusion of Oliver's character was wrapped too quickly for my taste. Because Oliver's character was wrapped up. It was, I know my true self-worth. I know who I am. I know that I'm going to open myself up more to men and to my friends and family, and I'm going to try and be a better person. You've helped me, and I really loved what we had. But if this isn't what you want, then I can't force you to do this. So goodbye. And then you kind of get glimmers into Oliver's life, but you don't really. You like see, this is the problem with a lot of fucking novels. And I know it's because you can only focus so much on a character, but I feel like that's bullshit. Because they focus so much on the one character who is the protagonist and kind of give very little, not very little, but not as much attention as you would like to the lover character. It happened in Red, White, and Royal Blue. I'll just say it. Alex got far more character development than Henry did. Even though Henry does have this monologue at the end, I wish we could have seen more. In this, it's the same. Luke gets a lot of character development, and Oliver, we see glimpses, we do hear about his life, but not to the full extent as we do with Luke. And so when Oliver just decided, okay, I'm going to be with you, it felt not earned. Like, I was genuinely half expecting Luke to be like, no, you've actually kind of hurt me. But, I mean, hey, I'm not an author. But that was my only criticism of the book. Apart from that, it's very fun. It's very witty. It actually is. It made me laugh out loud a couple of times. And it does go through a couple of twists and turns. I really liked it. I thought it was genuine. I'm going to read the sequel. I'm on my way to purchase it right now. Jokes. Well, maybe not jokes, but. And yeah, boyfriend material. I want to know more about you, Oliver. Who are you? But yes, boyfriend material. Incredible book. Loved it. I loved it, but the ending could have been better. And it also did a really good job at exposing the kind of casualness that a lot of people that a lot of people will casually just be homophobic and see it as something else. Like there's some bits that I was reading and they would just say something that was just clearly homophobic. And I'd just be like, what the fuck? And then Alex would just be like, okay, that was homophobic, but we move on. And I'm just like, that's a bit real. It's a bit too real for me. It's a bit like, because you get to certain points where you're just like, oh, that was just some casual homophobia that just laid there, but it was disguised as humor. So I don't know. It did a really good job of like portraying that, which I liked. But yeah, my experience of this, honestly, a book. I have ADHD. I struggle to sit down and focus on something without like looking at my phone every 10 minutes. So for a book has to really get my attention in like the first 3 chapters, or else I will literally just put it away and never touch it again. This book got my attention after 3 chapters. Yeah. So kudos to that book. Yeah, boyfriend material, Alexis Hall. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10 I think is a good mark. And my experience of it was really engrossed in the world. I wanted to be a friend of these characters. I wanted to see their struggles. And I wanted to see their ups and downs. And I really like that. Yeah, boyfriend material. My God. You know, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just like, this podcast has been an hour and 15. But you know what? I have seen other podcasts that are about 2 hours long. So, and they are like just the typical white man, misogynist, homophobic, spewing venom bullshit. So, where the fuck was I going with this? Oh, so yeah. So y'all can't complain about me being... No, you can't complain about me being long, about my episode being too long. But my episodes are about an hour and 15. I think one of my episodes is an hour and 30. But yeah, a lot of these like stupid men who spew venom, they're like 2.5 hours. And you guys eat that shit up. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You guys don't eat that shit up. I hope you don't anyway. But that's the end of the podcast. I'm sorry. I'm just going to get my little script out here because, fun fact, whenever I do that episode of this, I have my phone right beside me with a little script that tells me how to do my outro and my intro. So, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Triple Threat Podcast. I will be coming back to you this year. Oh my God, it felt like 5 years has gone between March and fucking October. But anyway... I will be coming back to you with new content regularly. I'm going to try and commit. And yeah, so I'm so excited to be back with you, y'all. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can listen to me on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Amazon Playlist, and wherever podcasts are sold. Thank you for listening. And make sure you're subscribed. And I know I've said this for a 3rd time, but again, thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. I genuinely love just talking shit and doing this and talking about movies and TVs. And yeah, sorry, not to get all cringing. Not to get all sentimental. But no, I do actually genuinely love this. And I'm going to try and get back to this because I'm going to be watching and reviewing a lot of stuff. Also, actors and writers deserve fair pay, and I'm glad that the writer's strike is over and that they got their fair deal. And hopefully the actors and the video game actors and also the VFX people who have just unionized, I hope that they all get what they deserve for their hard-earned work. And with that, I will see you next week.